Alright, people, we're back, man. IllegalElbow.com.
And MMA Aftermath on Facebook and Twitter.
UFC on Fox 15 coming at you guys, man. Machida versus Rockhold. Gonna be a really good night, man. Really good night, especially for a Fox card, dude. Really, I mean, what are you thinking, man?
It's almost like, dude, by the looks of this, it's like a pay-per-view, bro. To me.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to run it down, because it's stacked, and you know, to put the cherry on the top, you know, Machida versus Luke Rockhold, and we're gonna break this down, but for me, it's a hard one to pick, bro.
Oh, impossible, man. I mean, really, because the last few performances of these guys just prove that, you know, how hard it's going to be to call it. But before we get to it, man, I want to point out some really respectable matches. Even right going down to a Nick Catone and Vitor Miranda. Cool fight, man, in my opinion. Very cool fight. We're not going to go into it. You know, apologies, because we're, you know, time constraints and whatnot. Jimy Hettes, Diego Brandao, cool fight. Aljamain Sterling, Takeya Mizugaki, cool fight. Tim Means, love Tim Means, man. Love watching this dude fight. This dude just no holds barred, fucking go for it. Excuse my language, but George Sullivan. Don't know a ton about the guy, man. Really, I don't. But, you know, he's a newbie to UFC, so we'll see what he's bringing. Obviously, if he's pinned up against Tim Means, he's bringing something. So, I'm excited about it. Gian Villante also on the card. Ovince St. Preux, Patrick Cummins. Everybody knows Patrick Cummins' story. You know, Cormier's buddy from college or whatever. They had their little story, which I don't buy it. But anyway, it was a cute story. But Ovince St. Preux, I'm picking St. Preux because I just think this guy is a little more up the ladder, a little tougher around the edges. I mean, you know, a Cummins is a very strong dude, you know, a good wrestler. I mean, I think his wrestling could really favor and do him really well, but I think just the experience and the newfound, not newfound, but the improved striking and the improved takedown defense of Ovince St. Preux could really weigh in, so it makes it even that much more interesting. You know what I mean? Then you get into Dariush, Jim Miller. I mean, this is a great prelim card, man. The prelim card is worthy itself of a fight night, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You know, it could be a free card somewhere else, and maybe add in one of the main cards. You know what I mean? But you were talking about a new organization or something, Dan. If you want to, you know, put a stink on one of those.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment real quick on the Ovince St. Preux and Pat Cummins. I have, and for OSP, I normally would have him beating a Patrick Cummins, but we cannot sleep on a Patrick Cummins, man, especially if Ovince St. Preux comes in against a wrestler type like Ryan Bader. Remember what we seen with Ryan Bader, man. He gave up in the fucking first round against Ryan Bader, dude. You know, really, if you really look back at that fight. And,
True.
And Pat Cummins, man, he's looked great. Yeah, you know, he's taken out a Kyle Kingsbury, who we all know was in the twilight of his career.
Yeah.
But he's a guy that'll come in and he'll do his wrestling thing and use his strength to overpower you. Ovince St. Preux, are you going to try to, you know, Mauricio Shogun Rua, yeah, he beat him, but come on. Talk about another guy in the twilight of his career. We're going to have to put, Shogun in that category, bro, really. He's been through the wars, all that.
Yeah.
But I do have Cummins having a good chance if he can. They're both great wrestlers, but I want to give the edge to Cummins in this one, man. But we'll see. It's another good fight on a good card.
Yeah.
But like you're talking about, man, this MSC is another organization. You're gonna, you know, everybody's gonna be like, yeah, we already got Bellator, got World Series of Fighting, we got all these guys. No, this is a little bit different, people.
This is cool,
this
man.
This is an organization that their motto is no tap outs, just knockouts. So we're talking about an organization, and it stands for Mixed Striking Championship. So what you can take from that is there's going to be no grappling, and if there is, and there's not, ground and pound all the way, I guess, and you try to go into submissions or rugging and hugging, it's going to get broke up.
Split you,
start walling and stalling, it's going to get broke up. This is more action orientated, using the striking aspects of MMA. So I'm kind of stoked. First match is going to be April 18th. Badass, bro.
I love it, dude, because you're going to get certain kind of fighters going into that because they know they have that striking ability. So you're going to get those kind of fighters going into that kind of a promotion, and it totally makes for whoever thought of this very smart, because that's how you get rid of UFC. Downfalls of UFC, and I'm not even saying downfalls like disrespecting it, because when you see a good, like somebody with the talent of even an Eddie Bravo, if you want to go that far, holy shit, watching him in UFC is like, watching someone of his caliber in the UFC is just nuts, but it takes it, everybody wants to see the knockout. Everybody wants to see a stand-up fight. It's like, why aren't you watching K1? Why aren't you watching Glory? But at the same time, it's like, here we go. They're taking the mixed martial arts aspect and putting a whole different stink on it. And I think once this gets widespread, a lot of people will be heading over there, man. Really. Guys that should be heading over there, you know what I mean? Because they're just starting out. They're a new promotion. So...
guys that have been dominated by the takedown guys, the jiu-jitsu guys, the wrestler guys have no luck in the higher tier organizations. Like you said, they're going to be going over there. A newfound niche, almost. You know what I'm saying?
It's an awesome idea, man.
They're excel. So
it's an awesome idea. We had to get it in, at least talk about it a little bit before we jump into the ladies of the night. Female strawweight bout. This may as well be for the eliminator, pretty much. Both these chicks are they're right there. You know what I mean? They're right there in terms of some popularity's in there too. Yeah, they both look good. You know what I mean? So, and the experience there. For a Herrig. Felice Herrig's got a ton of experience. Not a ton. Don't get me wrong, not a ton. But you got Paige VanZant. Paige VanZant looks awesome.
Yeah, she does.
And she's 4-1. How do you get that much experience and look that good out of 4-1? You know what I mean? It doesn't really say a whole lot about her. Excuse me. Her. Prior career, not her pro career, but amateur career. Excuse me.
Yep. She fought Little P twice, really? I think.
Oh, yep. Okay. So yeah, Little P, yeah, that goes back a ways, dude. Yeah, Little P, we had we were gonna have Little P on, and then
what is this? I don't mean straw weight or
yeah, they're straw weights. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. We're not top notch on the chicks, man. We're gonna go ahead and say it, but these girls have,
I'm looking forward to this one, dude.
Yeah. This is.
I got VanZant winning, just because I see. Her last one was a knockout. Herrig's was a submission, but VanZant, man, she's, from what I've seen of her,
takedown defense is
a little
awesome.
Wrecking ball.
Yeah, takedown defense. Yeah, wrecking ball. I can almost see her in that video. no, but yeah, her. She is.
Some of the picks lately, oh my god, man! I'm not thinking about. I don't want her to give the ring, bro.
Yeah, no, and not only that, man. Have you heard the latest news too about her? I gotta say this, man. She, for charity purposes, which I don't know if this is April Fool's thing. She says it's not. She says it's not an April Fool's joke. She's gonna shave her head because
no, this is.
But maybe she's gonna shave it in a certain way. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's like maybe she's gonna shave
sides. Yep.
You know what I mean? Maybe she's gonna do it in some kind of way and say, "Ha, I fooled you, but I still did it, and I still gave up a lot of hair. I still did this. Who knows? I don't know. But with a face like that and a body like that, why would you ruin it? But at the same time, it's like, hey, this is dedication. You know what I mean? So, but put a cap on it, brother, man. We can move along.
Yeah,
to
no,
this
I got
main card,
VanZant.
man. VanZant, in my opinion, like we talked about a couple shows ago, we did the Paige VanZant show. I mean, the chick looks awesome. Felice Herrig, not bad. I'm not saying she's bad or anything's, she looks great as well. But I think this is going to be VanZant's toughest test. I'm kind of weighing in the area of her as well, but I think she'll be able to pull it out. It's going to be a tough fight, though, and that's why I'm so excited about it. But kick us off, brother, on the Cub Swanson, Max Holloway. This is going to be some sick-ass shit.
Hell yeah. And, a lot of people say, yeah, Cub Swanson hit a roadblock. Little Frankie, the mega heart Edgar is what I like to say. Because this guy's got more heart than 90% of the guys out there. I'm sorry. You can dispute me on that, but this guy is a never say die fighter, champion, and he hit a buzzsaw. Okay, Cub Swanson did.
Yeah.
Personally, and there's tons of Max Holloway fans out there, but I think Cub Swanson's going to bounce back in this one, man. And I think it's going to go the distance because, these two guys, somebody might slip up, get knocked the fuck out. Hey, so be it. But I see two guys, top of their game, like you said, battling it out. This is going to be a badass fight. But I see Cub Swanson walking away with the victory, even though, he's battled and torn. Both fighters went through a war. But I got Cub in this one.
That's the thing, too. You're talking about another level. You're talking about Cub Swanson, Max Holloway. In their own right, they both look really impressive in different fights. Cub Swanson reaching the top, getting close to the top here, meets a Frankie Edgar. It's kind of batted down a little bit. Max Holloway hasn't reached that level yet. He hasn't been in that level. I mean, you're talking about he just went over, which he's got a beautiful win streak, man. I mean, let's go ahead and point it out real quick.
5 in a row, and before Cub lost to Edgar, he was on 6 in a row. So
right, yeah, exactly. So it's a good reason for them to meet. Because it kind of a little proving grounds here. It's like, this guy's a nice win streak. This guy's in a nice win streak, For Max Holloway, we got Cole Miller, Kira Coruscant, Clay Collard, Andre Fili. Little touchy-feely action for you. You sitting at home? No. But Will Chop, you know what I mean? Which, they're not all top fivers or something like that. That's not how it is. But before that, lost to Conor McGregor, lost to Dennis Bermudez. So, but the guy's been on a tear since losing those guys. 5-win dealio. So I mean, I think I'm going to kind of weigh in the area with Cub Swanson. I kind of like your thoughts on that, man. You're right about it. Max Holloway just looks good, man. I think he just looks good. His technique is there. I think his mind is right. You know what I mean? I think it maybe for me it kind of depends on what Cub Swanson's coming in thinking. What is he thinking coming into this fight? And I think Cub Swanson's a pro, so I think he's going to come in top notch. I think,
it's a lot of my decision before we move on to the next one real quick is the quality of opponents, man. It's Cub Swanson before he got beat by a Frankie Edgar. He beat the likes of a Jeremy Stevens, a Dennis Seaver, a Dustin Poirier, a Charles Oliveira, a Ross Pearson, and a George Roop.
That's a big step up in competition for a Holloway, dude, big time.
Yep.
Even what you're saying even weighs in even further. I mean, that's a huge step up for a Max Holloway. So yeah, this could be the makings for a shutout, man. I mean, really, Cub Swanson on his game could very well just teach a big lesson for a Max Holloway. Who knows, man? But I don't want to sleep on a Max Holloway, but yeah, I'm gonna call Cub Swanson too, man, big time. I think a dude's just his last fight taught him a lesson. It's like, okay, there's more work to be done. But when it comes to a Max Holloway is not on the level of a Frankie Edgar. It's just proof, man.
No.
You know?
Not many are.
So, getting to it, man. Yeah, let's get on to the next one, man, for sure.
Wow, it's the phenom, really. All the athletic talent in the world against a guy that's been there, done that, and his reach is now in the pinnacle and prime of his career. We're talking about one, Yoel Romero being the up-and-comer, talent-filled new guy, basically, against the seasoned vet, Jacare Souza. Who do you got, bro?
Jeez. You know, based on Yoel Romero's last performance, which I was a little pissed off by this, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm talking about Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy was taking it to him, and really, in my opinion, Tim Kennedy was taking it to him. It was a great fight, man. I mean, knock him out, drag him out. It was an awesome fight. And Yoel Romero was tired as shit, you know, coming at 9-1. I mean, it just when it comes to you know, we're going back. If it comes to Yoel Romero's a monster, okay, when it comes to wrestling. But when it comes to a Tim Kennedy, you there's a lot of experience you're battling, and that whole seat thing, you know, where he didn't get off the chair or whatever it was, he didn't get off the seat in time for the next round. That was a game changer, not a game changer, but that was a statement that was made, and I think a lot of people, that woke a lot of people up, and people, including myself, were pissed off by that. It's like, wait a minute, you don't do that kind of shit. You're in a on the world stage, basically. I mean, if you want to look at it that way. And he pulled that crap. I thought it was bullshit. You know, Tim Kennedy even took him aside, and he was apologizing to Tim Kennedy. You know, I'm sorry, blah, 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 you know, whatnot. But I can't remember the whole ordeal. It was a long time ago, but Jacare Souza, I think, has too much experience, man. I think Souza's going to be able to pull this out. It's just my opinion, man. I mean, I know you love Yoel Romero, man, but I got to disagree when it comes to submissions.
Mm-hmm. It's
going to be a tough test for Souza, for sure. And if Souza's, excuse me, man, holy burps. Sorry, people. But if Souza's not on his game, it'd be a tough night. Very tough night, man.
Yeah.
But for all means, man. By all means.
No, I love Yoel Romero too, and he kind of showed me some, like you said, getting off the stool. And we've talked about, you know, feeding the muscles during the later rounds for a guy like him. But it's not going to get to the later rounds because, to me, Jacare Souza is going to be coaxing this guy in and baiting this guy into his guard. Something that I can just see that, something that has to do to jiu-jitsu because, you know, Yoel Romero might try to get, you know, overpower him. You go to the ground, you're dead. Okay? You go to the ground with a Jacare, you have sealed your own fate. Okay? In my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The best thing that Yoel Romero can do is keep this fucking thing on the stand-up side of it. I don't know how much more time we got left on this segment, but I see a Jacare submitting a Yoel Romero.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money, man, with that. I mean, I think Souza, just too much experience for Yoel Romero. We're talking, I mean, just in wins alone. You know, single digits when it comes to losses, but wins alone, I mean, we're talking 11 fights, you know, more. The experience of Ronaldo Souza is just ridiculous, man. And this guy's going to...
We haven't seen the best of a Yoel Romero either. He hasn't even reached his potential, but, you know.
True, very true, man. But it's going to be a great test for Souza, man. But Souza, I think, is not done by a long shot, and this is going to be a proving grounds, a big, huge test, man. But we're going to duck out of here for a minute. We'll be right back with the remainder of the card, man. We'll see you guys.
Yeah.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, getting back to it, man. Luke Rockhold on a friggin' tear lately, man. Taking on Lyoto Machida. It's probably one of the toughest fights of his career. Luke Rockhold only 13-2 at this point. But he's taken on a host of badasses, a host of good quality fighters. Same with Lyoto Machida, man. Talking about Lyoto Machida, 22-5. A lot more experience. I'm going to weigh in the area of Lyoto Machida, but at the same time, it's like, this may be one of Lyoto Machida's toughest tests at this point, because Luke Rockhold just looks so good, but Machida might be one of them guys to really take Rockhold out of his game. What do you think about it, Dan? I mean, in terms of when it comes to that.
If Luke Rockhold can be one of the few guys that can work around Lyoto Machida's baiting you in to hit and then attacking you, on your way back from attacking him kind of deal, you know what he does?
Yeah, counter
You're going after him constantly, you're reaching, hitting air, he's just getting the fuck out of the way of everything. If Luke Rockhold can be one of the few fighters that can solve that riddle of Lyoto Machida, he can beat him, but he's gonna have to have that patience, dude. I just don't see it happening. It's 5 rounds. Lyoto Machida, Luke Rockhold's beating a Bisping, and that's, like I said before the show, it's one thing that I look in my mind and saying, hey, he beat the shit out of Bisping. It wasn't even close, dude. He just annihilated his ass. And it was like, but who is Michael Bisping, really? Is he a top-tier guy? Fuck no. And then we go on the other hand and we see, who the hell is, the Dragon fight? The likes of, a fucking Chris Weidman, a Gegard Mousasi, a Mark Munoz, a Dan Henderson, a Ryan Bader, a John Jones.
Yeah, I mean, it's all top-notch. His last fight wasn't so pretty, but at the same time, he's been in there with really top dudes,
Yeah, well, he did knock the shit. No, against Chris Weidman, no. But after that, it was C.B. Dalloway, which he knocked the fuck out of C.B. Dalloway in the first round.
Right, exactly.
But we're just throwing C.B. Dalloway in there as a fucking practice fight till, this fight, basically.
Right.
But
it made no sense. Made no damn sense. It's like, you're talking about Lyoto Machida here. Throwing in his, Dalloway.
And Luke Rockhold, he beat a Bisping, he beat a Bosch, a Philippou, got beat by a Belfort, Tim Kennedy, Jardine. It doesn't stack up, dude.
PED
it doesn't
Bellator.
stack up.
PED Bellator. PED Belfort, I should say.
Yeah.
But,
it just, the talent of fighters doesn't, I'm going to have to go with the Dragon, dude. Unless he's lost a step, I don't see it. That step's going to get lost sooner or later, but I don't see it happening for Machida in this fight. I see, him beating Rockhold. I don't see Rockhold solving the riddle, dude.
I like Rockhold, man. I think he's a step ahead of how good he looks. I mean, not a step ahead of what, let me rephrase that. He's one of them guys that looks better than what his record says. But, he's lost to guys that really don't even, in my opinion, don't even compare to Lyoto Machida. I mean, he's been questionable when it comes, like Vitor Belfort. You know what I mean? Not taking anything away from Vitor Belfort, because Vitor is a huge question right now. How's he going to do when he comes back and he's deflated? How's he going to do? I mean, nobody knows. He's got a title shot right now, so people are going to see exactly how he does with a title shot being completely deflated, and we're talking about Constance Philippou, Tim Bosch, Michael Bisping. None of these guys even compare to Lyoto Machida, Tim Kennedy, in my opinion, Tim Kennedy, Lyoto Machida would make a cool fight, but, that's, to get on record and talk about that, I mean, that's a whole different deal. It really is. So I'm picking Lyoto Machida, even though I think Luke Rockhold could be we're talking riddles here. you got two riddles here that it depends what kind of game Luke Rockhold's bringing, in my opinion, and that's huge. That's huge because he's going to really have to take it to a Lyoto Machida. Don't let him back up. Don't let him, where he backs up and he lines up his shots. Don't take the counter-striking aspect away from the counter-striker. And how do you do that? You keep backing this guy up. Take him into the cage if you gotta. You know what I mean? Who knows? That's a tall order for a Luke Rockhold. But hey, man.
Yeah, that's perfect. Get him against the cage. Stop his backpedaling.
Yeah.
Kind of like a John Jones did. He stopped all that. He put him against the cage and put some terror on him. I don't know if Rockhold could do that, but that's one of the game plans.
Yeah. I mean, John Jones is great at doing shit like that. Just digging deep and finding a way to win. I think Rook Rockhold, but Luke Rockhold is just that guy to do something like that. But Lyoto Machida is a tough riddle for anybody in the top game still to this point. I mean, because he's almost one of them guys that's ever changing. He's always changing and like you said earlier, man, before we even started the show, is I have my Lyoto Machida figure, and then I can't find him. I'm devastated, man, because he really needed to be here for part of the show, and I'm bummed out, man. I'm sorry, Lyoto. I paid you a disservice and a disrespect, and I didn't mean to do that, man. But if you want to put a cap on it, and I think it's going to be an awesome fight. It's a great night altogether, man. It's a great night.
Yeah, it really is. And, this actually, when I first looked at it, I thought it was a pay-per-view card, really. Because it's stacked. We could have broke down the undercards more if we wanted to. That's Tim Beans, just a great card. I'm looking forward to it. Along with the Yoel Romero, Jacare. It's going to be a badass fight. The two girls, Herrig and VanZant, badass.
Don't cut your hair, ladies. Don't do it. Don't do it. And they want to do it for charity and all that good stuff, and that's commendable, man. I totally appreciate that, but don't do it. Don't do it. But that's MMA Aftermath on Facebook and Twitter. Legal Lobo on Facebook. Who cares? But also on Twitter. Legal Lobo on Twitter. We're pretty much out of here, man. You want to wrap it up, man? Put a stink on it, bro. Let's get out of here, man. Shit.
Fucking shoot some comments, man. We'll be on Spreaker too. The show will be on Spreaker. Shoot some comments. Comment section below on YouTube.
Don't forget about the app. That's right. Till next time, man. Don't forget about the app, guys. Google Play Store, Illegal Elbow, one word. We're out of here, man. Thanks, brother.
Dead fast.
And a God beer. Hey, it's me. I'm down here on the bottom corner, one of these two corners, but
hey, I'm up here. Fucking 11 o'clock. Look at me. Hey. Good.